Hello everyone, today we're going to do a discussion on water freight transport. This is for Dr. Lawler's Supply Chain Management class. Water freight is sometimes referred to as maritime transport as well. In the past 3 years, 2020 to 2023, water freight has been responsible for handling around 80% of international trade. This method of transport for goods is often considered one of the cheapest. You can often pay around the same price for shipping a container that weighs around 2,000 kilograms as you would for a container that weighs 200 kilograms. Liners are ships that have regularly scheduled runs. Examples of this would include container and passenger ships, tramps, which are much more commonly called traders in modern times. Traders typically don't have scheduled runs. They go where they can to make a profit. Examples of this would be cruise ships and bulk carriers, passenger liner, cruise ship, container ship. Some more information about containers. Containers are typically between 20 and 40 feet in length. They can be used by companies to ship both full containers of goods and less than full containers. Frequently, containers are used by companies to ship goods in a manner that allows the container itself to be moved rather than needing personnel to physically remove the goods from the container. This is done by directly loading a container from the port onto a truck and trailer. After it reaches the customer, then typically it is unloaded by employees. Bulk carrier is pictured here to the right. These are typically used to ship large quantities of goods like rice and other grains. Also, they'll be used to ship large amounts of ore, so copper and iron and other raw variants of various metals. The goods are normally stored in the large rectangular bins, pictured to the right, with coverings that are meant to slide away from the bins in order to access the storage areas. The importance to the supply chain that water freight or maritime transport is demonstrated mostly when you look at how heavy machinery or large quantities of material need to be shipped in as few shipments as possible, or something to that effect, and there's no land-based connection point, and alternatively using air is just not cost effective. Another good example of this would be oil tankers, and as previously stated, yeah, you can ship crude oil via air freight. It's far more expensive to do and requires far more trips to do the same quantity that you would be able to do with a singular tanker ship, as pictured here. And as previously noted, maritime transport has handled around 80% of international trade since at least 2020. That's quite a bit of trade to handle. Overall, water transport keeps international trade far more cost effective. Another relatable example of this would be, think of how many items that you use in your daily life, or maybe you're not even aware that you use that are shipped from China to the US. Think of how much more expensive things would be if we had to pay a air freight company the cost to ship those things to us, and how much higher the cost of living would be. A unique fact that we have about shipping would be a third of ships don't have a consistent means of communication throughout their time en route. So while they're at sea, this has been noted to put additional strain on crew members since they can't talk to their families. And while they don't have consistent methods to contact the outside world, they do use emergency cases, satellite phones. After all this, it's pretty easy to see how heavily relied upon maritime transport is, especially with the huge variety of specialized vessels, which we didn't touch on all of them here. Global trade simply would become unmanageable in cost, it looks like. if we didn't have maritime transport. So, thank you for your time. Have a good day.